Do what you can, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you are, right on time. Allow me to introduce you to Dr. Janet Fraser. She's our Chief Medical Officer here at the SGC.
Pleasure to meet you. General Hammond tells me you're our newest addition here, and I do hope things are going very well for you so far.
I'm going to leave you in Dr. Fraser's hands for the time being. She'll brief you on another of the many things that you're going to encounter during your time here at the STARGATE program. I'll check back with you in a few minutes.
Sir. Okay, let's get started.
The mythology of the show, which is that ancient cultures have been kidnapped by the Goa'uld, taken to other planets and sort of had their cultures kept down and primitive, but that ultimately the universe is populated by humans who originated from Earth.
Come. Lovely. Full of life. You could be the vessel for my future queen.
Apophis is the nemesis of Stargate SG1. He has stepped into the void left by Ra, who got nuked in the movie. According to ancient Egyptian mythology, Ra was the sun god, ruler of the day, and Apophis was the serpent god, ruler of the night. The two would enjoin battle every evening, every night, upon which Ra would emerge victorious, Apophis would be vanquished, and therefore day would yet dawn.
Does she please him?
Jaffa incubate Goa'uld, young Goa'ulds, into maturity. After they reach maturity, they seek a human host. The strongest and meanest go into my service.
I am a Jaffa, bred to serve that they may live.
I don't understand.
The Jaffa are the warrior class, Apophis' warrior class. They are basically his stormtroopers, his SS. They are his might, in a kind of way. And what the deal is that the people on Chulak, the elite, if you will, the people receive this symbiote. And there are different classes. The first primes, of course, you see other ones with the gold tattoos, and the other guys have the black, almost ash-like tattoos, and they're waiting to become upgraded if they prove themselves in battle.
In the beginning, Teal'c was very focused on his people and their plight, and freeing his people and his wife and son, and didn't really care to assimilate much with human beings or anyone else that he came across. I think he was very single-minded in his quest to help his people.
With or without you, O'Neill, I must return to Chulak.
Either way, it's suicide, my friend.
Within days, my son will come of age. He will be called to the religious life of our world. He will undergo the ceremony of implantation, the Primta, the day when a young boy receives his first Goa'uld symbiote and becomes a true Jaffa. just as all other Jaffa before him.
Tilk comes back because he knows his son is going to have the same right. There's a right where the symbiote is placed into him, so Tilk comes back trying to stop that. He doesn't want to allow it. He doesn't want his son to be polluted, to be burdened.
I am not the only one among my people who believes this. My first teacher, the Jaffa Master Braytak, he knew very well the Goa'uld are false gods.
And I'm introduced as I'm literally guarding his house. It's almost like I go back because he was my prime pupil. I go back and visit there. It's like a shrine to something that I've lost that's been really important to me. And on a certain day, so I initially try to guard the home, the ashes of this home from O'Neill and from the SGI unit. And it's only later that I see that Tilk is there.
You're over 100 years old? God, I'm sorry.
Ah! 133.
You must work out.
Sort of an Obi-Wan Kenobi type. I tried to describe it early on when I first got the part, and they said, well, who is it? And I said, well, he's sort of a medieval, futuristic Roman samurai warrior.
Not bad for a man of 133.
Not bad at all.
Early in season 2, there was an episode called In the Line of Duty where Carter gets a Goa'uld inside her, and we initially think, oh, it's, oh, this is terrible. Carter's had been possessed, but it turns out it was by a good Goa'uld, and that was sort of a twist for us. We'd suddenly invented this new rebellion within the Goa'uld that maybe not all Goa'ulds are bad.
Not all Goa'uld are the same. There are a few that oppose the System Lords and their ways. You must have heard of the Tok'ra.
Every Goa'uld seeks power for his own reason and would betray his own brother to achieve it.
Some seek power for a greater purpose. Not every Goa'uld is an enemy to the people of this planet.
We started to explore the reasons why Goa'uld are bad, and there's this whole idea of genetic memory that they pass on some of their. Imagine if Jack the Ripper, was able to pass all of the things that made him who he was onto the next generation. That's kind of why the Goa'uld are evil. Well, this is a line of the symbiotes that never sort of had those elements, and so they fight against the Goa'uld to try and wipe them out.
The Tok'ra are real, no matter what Apophis has told you.
I have yet to meet one.
You have now. I am Jolinar of Mogshur.
So these are the aliens you were telling me about?
Well, I don't know if I'd call them aliens. Sort of half-alien, I guess. The outside is human, and the inside is shared between a human and a symbiote. Martouf is actually two different souls, I guess, sharing the same body.
And that's what you want me to become?
In an episode called Tok'ra, which is a two-parter, we meet Jacob Carter, who's Samantha Carter's father, and as it turns out, he's got cancer and is dying. And the Tok'ra have a member of their rebellion who is also dying, the host. The symbiote can only keep the host going for so long, and then the sort of the human qualities take over. And this Tok'ra's host was dying, and she needed a new one. He needed a new one. We're never quite sure about the she-he thing. So that was the way that Jacob's life got saved. He had it. This Tok'ra went into him, and so now he's off fighting the Goa'uld, as a member of the Tok'ra. In fact, one of the highest-ranking members of the Tok'ra, and continues to have sort of this odd relationship with his daughter.
Hello, Sam.
Dad, we have a little bit of a situation, and we may need Selmac's help.
Selmac. I thought maybe you just wanted to see your old man.
I do, Dad.
The Tok'ra are different from the Goa'uld in that they equally share the body. They allow the host to speak. They allow the host to have feelings, and pretty much a real symbiotic relationship, as opposed to the Goa'uld, who just completely take you over.
Your father asked that I shake your hand and give Colonel O'Neill a big kiss from him.
Greetings, Jack O'Neill.
Greetings. Have we met?
I am Thor.
He's developed quite a relationship with Jack O'Neill over the years. Richard Dean Anderson will tell you he's one of his favorite actors to work with.
Do you ever say one thing and mean another, kind of speak between the lines, if you know what I mean?
I do not.
Do not what? Speak between the lines or understand?
Fair Game was the first time they really started to bond together on screen. The chemistry was just wonderful.
Oh, come on, give me something. Anything. I won't hold you to it. A little head nod if there's another way around this.
It is your planet at stake. I believe you have it within you to make the right decision.
They were very, very advanced, more so even than the Goa'uld, and seemed to have our interests at heart.
All right. Send me back. Wait! Right there. Is that a head nod? A nod is usually down, then back up. You kind of just went down. Wait, I'll take...
The more you thought about it, the more you started to have problems with the idea that, well, if they're such good guys and they're more powerful than the Goa'uld, why are the Goa'uld such a problem? I mean, why haven't the Asgard kind of gotten rid of them? And so we needed to come up with an explanation for that. And so the explanation was, maybe they've got their own problems in their own galaxy, and they're just not really telling us about that. So that problem was the replicators.
They are the enemy of the Asgard.
We've had several puppets. The very first Thor, which appeared in Thor's Chariot, was the first one we had built, and he was really only meant to just kind of stand there. And then as the demands for the character of Thor increased, we had to build more and more sophisticated puppets. The most sophisticated one was just finished, was made, I believe, for Small Victories. He had quite a bit to say in that one, and we needed to build one with a fully articulated mouth and one that would have expressions.
Where are we going exactly?
5 Asgard ships are currently engaging 3 ships controlled by the replicators, which are on their way here.
One of the interesting sort of tidbits I'm not sure most viewers are aware of, Michael Shanks, who's Daniel Jackson, is the voice of Thor, and it's just treated in such a way that you can actually, I think, personally, if you listen very carefully, you can hear it that it's him, but I'm not sure most viewers would be aware of that.
We need your help. I have come here to seek your help.
At the time when we first started shooting the Asgard, for our budget, we could only have the puppets sitting there and talking. And now, of course, with some of the advancements that have been made, we've got Thor, walking around and holding people's hands and stuff like that. There's a scene in Small Victories where he walks up the ramp and goes into the Stargate with Carter, and that's obviously not the puppet. That's a CG Thor. I think one of the most interesting things about Stargate is the fact that it's taking place now, that we're going out into a universe that is partly primitive and partly very advanced, and we're kind of stuck in the middle and very much at our own level, but rarely do we suddenly take that leap forward, even though there are all these aliens out there that are so much more powerful than us. So when we do meet one, like the Nox or the Asgard, it becomes a very delicate balance in terms of creating a relationship and yet not having them give us everything that they know. A good example of that is the Tolans, who are humanoid, look completely human, but are very advanced, and as it turns out, once gave a race of people very much like us advanced technology, and they destroyed themselves. So they sort of be their policy not to do that anymore.
We'd like to arrange for a trade.
What would you like to trade?
Technology.
I'm sorry. You know that is the one thing we cannot give you. Tolan law strictly forbids it.
I did an episode called Bane, where there were these sort of gross bugs that one of which bites Teal'c and starts turning him into an alien.
You don't look so great.
One of the ones that's sort of becoming a bit of a running through line in the show are the aliens that were first introduced in the show called Maternal Instinct. They were sort of these white, glowy, very pretty. In fact, in that case, it was Mother Nature. But as it turns out, is a part of an alien race of beings that has very close ties to Earth.
I'll see both of you again someday, right?
They were seen again in an episode called Absolute Power, and the Harcesis boy, which has another sort of through line throughout the show, he was taken in by the Mother Nature alien in Maternal Instinct and ultimately ascended to their level.
It's time I chose a new path.
And it is time for me to continue on mine.
How did it go, Doctor?
Oh, I think we did just fine, sir.
Good.
Actually, sir, if you don't mind, SG1 brought back a specimen for dissection and study from their last mission, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for some first-hand experience.
I don't see why not.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. You sure you're up for this? Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you. You have to change lab coats, gloves. Oh.